Morning with the TET or the Teachers Eligibility Test 2014 qualified students who were detained by the West Bengal police amid protests outside the Education Board's office in Kolkata's Salt Lake. Now, the students were detained on the intervening night of Thursday and Friday, and according to details, the students had been protesting for the last several days and they were pressing for direct recruitment. But this is how the BJP too has been taking on. As far as the ruling dispensation is concerned, BJP Chief of West Bengal, Shubhendu Adhikari, the leader of opposition there, Shubhendu Adhikari, they are releasing an alarming footages on social media handle and has been alleging that there was brutal force that was used on the students there by the Chief Minister's police on the protesters. He went on to take a sharp dig at Mamata Banerjee, asking that whether her state is that of West Bengal or Hitler's Germany. So Shubhendu Adhikari there tweeting those videos as those police were in a way forced to remove the protesters there because the protesters claimed that they cleared the TET examination in 2014 but were omitted from the merit list. And initially the police issued warnings to clear the site. However, the agitators insisted that they will not leave the site, and only after getting appointment letters for the teaching jobs in the state-run and the state-aided primary schools, which was denied to them. Thereafter, they have been continuing with their protest for the last several days. The protesters allege that the police had physically abused them as well and had manhandled them as they were forced to be removed from the area. The BJP has now taken upon, has said that they will be conducting massive protests and they will be taking up this issue to target the Mamata Banerjee government. They have been saying that it is the Mamata Banerjee government who had promised the students that they will be directly appointed around 20,000 TET candidates who had qualified in 2014 and subsequent tests. But why only 6,100 posts have been filled? Those are the questions that are being raised by the BJP. What happens to the rest of the students there? They have been raising the questions as far as the BJP is concerned because the agitators earlier had also turned down the request of the state education minister to withdraw the protest. So as far as a reach out and outreach or a dialogue is concerned, that doesn't seem to be happening between the protesters and the state government there. And BJP now taking this opportunity to attack the Mamata Banerjee government. And Shubhendu Adhikari himself, who has been putting out several videos and tweets and have been asking that is this the West Bengal of Mamata Banerjee or Hitler's Germany? The kind of brute force that was used on the candidates there speaks for itself. Let me go across to Tanushri now. Tanushri, the entire matter, because this is something, there has been no dialogue yet that we are looking between the protesters and the state government. The BJP in a way is also taking on West Bengal government.
Well, certainly, if you see today, the Bharatiya Janata Party youth wing, they would be hitting the streets of Kolkata in protest for these candidates being detained by the police and being picked up yesterday night. So certainly the BJP has looked out that why in the middle of the night are these candidates being picked up? And it is not only the Bharatiya Janata Party who has it out, but it is the other opposition parties also. We know that there will be protests throughout the city today in this regard. But certainly we also know that on one hand, the state government had made certain promises that there would be jobs that would be provided to them. But the state government claims that they have to sit, there has to be a dialogue into what they want. But the allegation that is coming on these students is that these candidates are not ready to sit in a dialogue, which is why they were blocking the streets. And the police had certainly stated to them that Section 144 had been enforced, which is why they cannot do a dharna over there. But the candidates have refused, stating that until they were given a job, they would not be moving from that spot. But as we see, that did not happen. The candidates did not move. There was no dialogue. We have seen that yesterday, the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, while visiting the stadium, had also stated that she does not know much of the details about this. So she would leave it to the Education Minister, who is Priyanka Tibrewal, to deal with the entire matter, as we knew exactly what was happening. So certainly a statement from the Education Minister is expected today as to what he has to say in this regard. But also the Education Department, we know, had moved to Calcutta High Court, stating that because these candidates were blocking the streets, those employees, those officers who were going to those buildings were not being able to enter, which is why they had moved to Calcutta High Court, the Education Department. That the Education Department gets relief from the Calcutta High Court and these candidates move away from there. But the candidates did not budge, and therefore the police had to resort to lathi charge. As you see in the visual, they had to resort to lathi charge. They had to detain these candidates, but these candidates have been very clear that the protest not stop. It will go on. We also know that, in several parts of the city, such as in Gandhi Murti, in other places, candidates are still protesting, are still on dharna, asking for a job which they deserve because they have appeared for the examination. They've qualified, but still they have not got jobs. Instead, the candidates allege that influential people on the basis of bribes have given jobs to undeserving candidates. That is what these candidates are saying to the common man, that we deserve the job and we are not getting it.
Well, we've been getting you updates as to how the BJP is now taking it upon themselves to even side with the candidates and also protest along with them, because let's play out what Amit Malviya of the BJP had to say. We've been breaking down the details of Shubhendu Adhikari and the videos that he'd been sharing, but Amit Malviya goes on to say, and I quote, that in a Hitlerish midnight crackdown, Mamata Banerjee used brute force to evict the agitating candidates for the teacher eligibility test 14, who were on a legitimate sit-in demonstration near the State Primary Education Board office. The BJP Bengal will launch massive protests. So the BJP now coming out and saying, as far as the students are concerned, Tanushri, because the students have been also accusing the state government of corruption. And now BJP calling West Bengal Mamata government as Hitler government. So the candidates, as far as the students are concerned, because they have been saying that they have qualified for the TET 8 years ago. However, they could not clear the 2 sets of the interviews that they appeared for. And they have been also accusing the state government of corruption and prioritizing undeserving candidates that the protesting candidates had qualified for the TET 8 years ago, but they could not clear those interviews that they appeared for. Now the pictures that are coming in, you can see the trail of destruction that has been left behind as far as the protesters are concerned, who they say that they were forcibly removed by police as they were conducting a peaceful and a sit-in dharna. The police there, they have been alleging, beat up the young protesters, including women, and the BJP says that they will not tolerate this and they will be holding massive protests all over the state against the high-handedness of the police and the high-handedness of the Mamata Sarkar. So those pictures that are coming in, as far as the student protest is concerned, they say they have been conducting these protests for the last several days, but in a brute force, how they were removed from the area is something that the BJP is also now calling upon for massive protest all over the state as they are standing in support of the TET candidates. Tamal, the current situation, because what is being said that the BJP, of course, attacking West Bengal government, but what exactly are these candidates saying?
The teacher recruitment issue had been...
All right, just stay on with us. Mr. Majumdar is with us from the TMC on the phone line. Sir, these pictures that are coming in of how the protesters were forcibly removed from Salt Lake area, sir, the BJP is calling it as Hitler West Bengal government. What do you have to say?
No, they have to remember that High Court has ordered to clear up the area because the common people were facing enormous problem for few protesters. It cannot happen in a civilized society. Everyone has the right to protest, but they don't have any right to enter into the real life of the common people. It has to be kept in mind that you have got the right for democratic right to protest. That doesn't mean you can indulge in governing other rights, other people's right. It has to be remembered. And High Court has ordered clearly the duty of the state machinery, state police to keep these busy areas clear and clean so that common people don't face any problem. Because
but what about the candidates, sir? What about the candidates? They say that they have been sitting on a dharna peacefully, but there has been no dialogue with them. They have been saying that their jobs have been stolen.
No, peaceful agitation means stopping all the ways, stopping a thoroughfare or what this peaceful